Children, today we will read the second chapter, that is The Four Magicians. This is one of the stories that the demon Betal told the wise king Vikramaditya. Each story ended with a riddle, and if the king did not answer it, even though he knew the correct answer, Betal threatened that his head would burst into 1,000 pieces. However, if he answered, Betal would vanish and the king would have to catch him once again. Here is one of the stories that he told the king. Once a man named Krishna Swami lived in the city of Patliputra. He and his wife had four sons. However, both Krishna Swami and his wife passed away while the children were very young. Their greedy relatives tricked them out of their property, and the boys were left penniless. Since they were young and did not know how to learn a living, they decided to go to their maternal grandfather's house. There was a man named Krishna Swami who lived in Patliputra. He and his wife had four sons. Krishna Swami and wife passed away, and the relatives of these four kids were very greedy, who tricked them and took all their properties and left them without any money. So these young children, they decided to go to their maternal grandfather's house. They reached there after a hard journey only to discover that their grandfather was no more. However, their uncles gave them shelter and the four boys continued with their studies. As they reached their village, they found that the grandfather was dead. Their uncle gave them shelter and the four boys started living there and started studying. As the month passed, this kind treatment started to wane, and they were no longer treated well or given enough food or proper clothes. So as the time passed, these children were not taken good care as they were treated at the first place. Now they were not given proper food nor clothes. The boys did not know what to do. One day, as they sat together thinking about how to end this pathetic situation, the eldest brother said, "What shall we do now? We cannot continue to live like this. It seems to me that we should master some skills which will help us to earn a lot of money and be free of our present problems." So, the eldest one of the four brothers decided that we cannot live like this. We have to master in some skills and earn a lot of money to set ourselves free from the present situation. All the boys liked this idea and started discussing what kind of knowledge they should master. Now they started discussing that what is the thing that they can get in master into. After some discussion, they decided that it would be best if they acquired magic powers, which would help to bring in a steady income. So they decided to become magicians and to acquire magic powers. With this plan in mind, each of the brothers set off in a different direction, north, east, south, and west, to learn different magical skills. They planned to meet again at a particular time and place to see what each of them had learned. So they decided to part away in the four directions, and they also planned to meet again at a particular time and particular place to know what all of them learned. Many months later, when the time to meet came closer, all four brothers started out for the appointed place. They were very happy to see each other again and asked what each of them had been able to learn. So when they met, they were eager to ask each other that what they have practiced and gained in these days. The eldest said, "I had mastered a particular kind of magic. I can cover the bare bones of any animal with the right kind of flesh." So the second said, "I have learned how to add skin and hair of the animal after the flesh has been added to the bones." The third said, "I know how to create the limbs of the animal whose bones have been clothed with skin, flesh, and hair." And the fourth said, "When such an animal is fully formed, I can breathe life into it." So, as you can see, these four got the tricks which were interrelated to each other. The tricks and the magical powers that they had, they all were interrelated to each other. The four brothers were very pleased to discover that they had all acquired skills which could be used together for their mutual benefit. Yes, as I told you. But first, said the eldest brother, we must prove our skills to one another. It was time to prove the skills of each one. So they went into the forest to look for the bones of an animal to display their knowledge to one another. Soon they found some scattered bones of an animal, and the first brother used his magical spell to cover the bones with the proper flesh. Then the second and the third brother added the skin, hair, and the limbs. When this was done, they saw that they had made a lion. As it was the turn of the fourth brother, he said, see, I will bring it to life now, and muttered a spell. They all went to the forest and found few bones scattered here and there. All the three brothers joined all the body parts, and now it was the turn of the fourth brother to bring it to life. And he muttered a spell. As soon as he did that, the huge lion arose, stretched its limbs, and roared loudly, showing fearful and sharp teeth. Then, before they could realize what was happening, the lion charged the fourth brothers, caught and ate each one of them. Thus, the four brothers died because of the foolish mistake, bringing a ferocious beast to life. This proves that if you lack wisdom and common sense, even the best skills cannot help you. At the end of the story, Bital asked Vikramaditya, now tell me, king, which of the brothers was responsible for all the deaths? King Vikramaditya replied, the fourth brother, who brought the lion to life, is the guilty. The others created the flesh, skin, and limbs without knowing what kind of animal would be formed. But even after realizing that it was a dangerous lion, the fourth brother wanted to show off his knowledge. Hence, he is responsible for his own and his brother's deaths. This was indeed the correct answer to the riddle. Once again, Betal vanished, and Vikramaditya had to try and catch the demon. So, children, from the story, we come to understand that if you do not use your wisdom at the right place and try to show it off at the place where it is harmful, then you yourself will be harmed because of your own foolishness. So, we should always prove our wisdom and common sense at the right place and should think where to use our knowledge and where to just keep quiet. You have to write all the word meanings of this chapter in your copy, and we will discuss the exercises in our next segment of the video. Thank you.